At birth, the human's mind is a tabula rasa or a blank slate. Humans are born knowing nothing. Everything we know is developed gradually through interaction with the world. It comes to us through sense data. And this is empiricism. Knowledge and human behavior are not fully innate. Our personalities, biases, and actions are entirely learned through sensory perceptions and environmental conditioning over time. Tabula rasa allows humans to fill their own minds with ideas as they experience the world through their five senses. Environment is also shaping habits, personality, and decision making. From an empirist perspective, the environment plays a major role in shaping human behavior because it provides the experience that form knowledge and habits. The environment includes many factors such as family, friends, culture, school, and social surroundings. Each of these influence how a person thinks, behaves, and responds to situations. Since every individual grows up in different environments, the behavior and the perspective can also be different.
Beyond philosophy, empiricism is also used to study human behavior. Behavioral scientists use systematic observations, surveys, and controlled experiments to gather measurable data. This ensures a conclusion about why people act the way they do are grounded in empirical data and objective evidence. The most direct application of empiricism to behavior is behaviorism. Behaviorism is asserting that all behaviors are learned through interaction with the environment via conditioning. Behaviorism emerged in 1913 when American psychologist John B. Watson published the landmark paper Psychology as the Behaviorist Views It, and later expanded significantly through the work of Bruce Frederick Skinner and Ivan Pavlov. Behaviorism core concepts that define this approach include the first one, classical conditioning. This conditioning involves creating an association between a naturally occurring stimulus and a neutral stimulus in order to trigger an involuntary response. Ivan Pavlov's experiment was using association between dog's food with the bell triggering conditioned response where the dog would salivate even though there is no food and only the bell. The second concept of behaviorism is operant conditioning. Operant conditioning involves an association between a behavior and its consequences. It is a learning process through reinforcement and punishment. Operant conditioning is shaping behavior by their consequences, making a certain behavior more or less likely to occur in the future. Whether that consequence is positive or negative can determine whether the response increases or decreases. Operant conditioning is divided into four main methods depending on whether a consequences involve reinforcement to strengthen or increase behavior, or even punishment to reduce the likelihood of a behavior from occurring again. The first method is positive reinforcement. It is giving something desirable or favorable after a behavior in order to increase the behavior. For example, giving a dog a treat after doing tricks or giving a bonus to an employee for doing well at work. The second method is negative reinforcement. It is removing something unpleasant following a behavior in order to increase certain behavior. For example, your car keeps beeping until you buckle your seatbelt. Buckling your seatbelt stops the annoying sound, increasing the likelihood you will buckle up in the future. The third method is positive punishment. It is adding something unpleasant to weaken a certain behavior. For example, getting a speeding ticket discourages you from speeding again in the future, or adding a punishment for a child's misbehavior. The last method is negative punishment. It is removing something desirable or removable in order to decrease a behavior. For example, taking away a teenager's video game or phone as a consequence of breaking curfew decreases the chances of them staying out late again.
Why do people keep buying Megajoan? According to empiricism, consumers form their own knowledge through direct experience rather than rely only on information from others. So, people continue buying Megajoan because their purchasing behavior is shaped by their own positive experiences. At first, consumers may visit Megajoan out of curiosity, recommendation from friends, or the exposure from social media content. Consumers started to learn about the product through direct interaction with it. Once consumers purchase the product, they evaluate the quality, the taste, price, and service. These experiences help them form knowledge, perception, and preferences toward the product. Experience also shapes consumer behavior through positive reinforcement. When these experiences are positive, consumers develop a good perception of the brand. The positive experiences act as a rewards that encourage repeated purchases. As consumers continue to receive positive outcomes, they become more confident in choosing Megachuan over other alternatives. Repeated positive experiences also contribute to classical conditioning. Consumers begin to associate the Megachuan brand, logo, and menu with their positive experience and satisfaction. As a result, whenever they encounter these brand-related stimuli, positive feelings are triggered and increase their desire to purchase the product again. People keep buying Megachuan because positive experiences create knowledge about the brand, reinforce repeated purchasing behavior, and build positive associations that influence future consumer decisions.